सुनने वालों को सिराज ज़ैदी का बहुत बहुत प्यार भरा आदाब, नमस्कार and good afternoon to all my listeners worldwide, wherever you are listening me. This is your own Apna radio broadcasting at 93.9 Dublin South FM. Yes, it is Thursday time. Thursday is my show and my show time. And we have quite a lot of information and entertainment as usual in this program. This is your local Irish radio, Apna radio, broadcasting at Tundrum Town Centre, 93.9 Dublin South FM. So what do? I covered a lot of information about India, what's happening in India, and India news this week and all that. And then we have our contributors to the program, Sharad Awasthi in London and Charmaine Colvin in the studio sometime. Otherwise in Ballyhonus. So those people do continue to support the program, and I'm really grateful to their contribution. But today we don't have Charmaine Colvin because Charmaine is in the funeral somewhere. But next week she will be picking up the news. But what we do have is a very comprehensive report from Sharad Awasthi, who has, been talking about this particular major incident that I'll be talking about as well today, and it's a no-brainer for everybody knows who are following the news back home in India, what's happening and all that. So sit back, relax, and listen to very comprehensive report about New Delhi, the bomb blast that has happened, and indeed what has happened is a questionable to the authorities, questionable to every citizen living in India and abroad, that why this particular incident happened during the time of election. Now, this is not coincidental. This happened in Pulwama. It happened in Pahalgam and all those places. And then now it's because of the Bihar election is taking place. And lo and behold, all the indicators are that BJP is losing their election. So whatever it is it a coincidence or is it a deliberate incident? Sharad has put together a very, very good comprehensive report about this particular incident. And now the fingers are being pointed to X, Y, and Z people. As usual, the tension between the two communities, Hindus and Muslims, are rising. Again, Pakistan has been dragged into the conflict, and tit for tat, immediately there had been some reaction into Islamabad, where the blast has happened. So all these people are orchestrating pre-planned, well-crafted, extremely well-crafted these incident that is taking place worldwide. Anyway, not worldwide, but India and Pakistan are the two countries who are at odds with each other for quite some time since this Operation Sindoor has been declared by the government of India. But again, because we don't know who are the culprits, we never know, by the way, who are the culprits. We never caught Pulwama people. We never caught the Pahalgam people. They came from the bushes and disappeared in the bushes. Hello? It's that simple. But there you go. I mean, this time the RDX and the kind of the destructive force has been used in the public place near Lal Killa, which is a red fort, a symbol of India's Mughal Empire, symbol of India's pride. And that's where the speeches from the Red Fort has been delivered on 15th of August and 26th of January and all that. So many things actually precipitating this particular incident. And this incident is not the first incident. It's, as I said, it's carefully crafted. And who's suffering? The poor people. I saw a clip, the reel the other day, somebody has shifted in Lucknow. The people who are earning on this, selling the cheap goods on the streets are being hassled by the police people and asked to open the packs as if there is a bomb in there. I mean, hello, this is the kind of nonsense that because the police has got upper hand and the police is orchestrating the management, so-called the post-mortem of these particular incident. Anyway, I'll be talking about that more, but before that, I would let the Sharad to take this thing and talk about it. What exactly has happened? Sharad, you take it away.
So India sees another terror attack. The explosion in a moving car near Delhi's Red Fort on the evening of 10th November, it claimed 13 lives and has left several injured. This has prompted the authorities to invoke the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, which is UAPA, and the Explosive Act. Now, this act indicates that the incident is being treated as an act of terrorism. The National Investigation Agency, NIA, has taken over the probe. And of course, there are official statements from the Prime Minister of India and the Home Minister that the perpetrators will be brought to justice, while rest of the country is asking for the accountability from the government. On a side note, elsewhere in the world, when the nation is struck by a tragedy, the head of the state returns to the capital in order to take control of the situation, while in our case, in Indian case, the Prime Minister leaves the country to celebrate another king's birthday. Therefore, some sense of accountability demanded by public is justifiable. Anyway, that's a side note. So, the suspect linked to the vehicle of the blast has been identified as Dr. Umran Nabi. He is from Pulwama, the same place where in 2019, 40 CRPF Jawans were killed by another suicide attack. And at the time, in 2019, 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 took responsibility of both the attack and the attacker. So there is some connection we can tentatively draw, not definitively, that 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 or any other terrorist organization have been linked to this Delhi blast. What the other reports suggest that Dr. Nabi, who perished in this Delhi blast, may have been a part of the larger network allegedly plotting terror attacks across India. And this is because prior to this blast, there were several explosives which were apprehended in and around the capital of India. Until investigators reveal more, it is imperative that speculation and sensationalism are avoided. And at this critical moment, the government, the opposition, the media must act responsibly to preserve peace and calm. And I say that with responsibility because the attacker seems to be from a particular community of India, but the target is not a community in India. If you see the list of those who died and the list of people who were injured, badly injured, they are from all communities of India. So this attack is definitely not on a particular community, it is on India. And that is more important to realize that as India, we need to act responsibly to preserve peace and calm, although there are elements in the society who are taking advantage to create the division. Like always, decades together, India has battled the menace of violence targeting innocent civilians. Yet, in recent years, what we find is that major terrorist incidents has largely been confined to conflict zones like Manipur, Pulwama, Pahalgam, Kashmir, so on. In the peaceful regions, these attacks are not seen in the last decade. But then, counter-terrorism remains one of the divisive issues in India and now, as we see, globally. Within the Indian discourse, if you see, the ruling BJP has long argued that a soft state approach of India by the previous governments have enabled terrorism. And since coming to power in 2014, this government has tightened legal frameworks to empower investigative agencies, given a lot of money, $20 billion kind of money, which is like 2.33 lakh crores to the Home Ministry. And this has made it harder for the accused of the terror offences to evade justice. Step in the right direction. Now, these stringent laws have been coupled with extensive security operations by both the central and the state forces. So we are witness to that. Effective security, however, is often measured by absence of attacks that never make headline. And it is only an indication that there is constant vigilance. But that does not mean the terror attacks are not being planned. While it also means that people are not willing to conduct a terror attack, not because it is constant vigilance, but because the issues have died down. So there are both sides of argument that I'm trying to say, that the absence of terror attacks can be for any reason. The recent arrests across states and the seizure of arms, explosive, and the chemical agents, especially the new agent that we are talking now, they appear to have thwarted a potentially more devastating conspiracy. Nevertheless, police alone cannot form the backbone of comprehensive national security policy, and that is the point of discussion today we are having. We will have swift and transparent investigation, but then it has to be followed by a deliberate political outreach to reassure citizens and restore trust, because we are seeing a divisive politics in India which is at its height and threatening the democracy. Terrorism by its own nature seeks to sow fear, it provokes social division, and it erodes the legitimacy of the state. So one has to be really conscious about its acts, and terrorism cannot be reduced to mere law and order problem. It's a multi-dimensional challenge rooted in political alienation, socio-economic inequalities, ideological manipulation, and regional stability. So from micro to macro level, terrorism has its roots there, and that need to be resolved. Just having a security system, just having a one-sided law and order oriented national security policy is not going to help. Policing and surveillance can curb its immediate manifestations, but not its underlying causes. That's the touch point there. It has to be blended with intelligence, diplomacy, economic development, community reconciliation, both within the country and with our neighbors, Indian neighbors. Now, if we look at it, the resurgence of militancy in Jammu Kashmir since 2019 underscores that heavy militarization alone cannot extinguish a movement that feeds on political dissatisfaction and perceived injustice. Without sustained dialogue with the local engagement and rehabilitation of alienated youth, security operation will go in cycles of violence and resentment. When I say the neighbors, we are seeing Taliban's return to power in Afghanistan, and that has ripple effects across South and Central Asia, extremist ideologies, and it is providing safe haven for terror networks. So we are seeing even in Pakistan, there are issues which are cross-border. And it overall demonstrates how regional instability can directly undermine domestic security. So India's counter-terrorism strategy, therefore, must involve proactive regional diplomacy, and altogether we have to take into account Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and the entire ecosystem, including Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, for a sustained cross-border militancy that is harming everybody. While the state must remain vigilant, it must also recognize that terrorism thrives where justice is absent, where dialogues break down, and where identity and inequality is weaponized. So national security, therefore, is inseparable from social cohesion and fair governance. And that is where we have to work out. I bring to you the example of Punjab of 1980s, and it offers a very crucial lesson in how terrorism, though fought on the grounds by the security forces, it ultimately is defeated through political reintegration and social healing. Now, this is with an assumption that the attacker, the Delhi Red Fort attacker, has his roots in Kashmir. We have to solve the Kashmir integration issue and the social healing issues. Now, police crackdown, counter-insurgency operations, and imposition of president's rule, they may be helping in a short term, in a tactical way. But strategically, we have to follow the model of Punjab, where the government brought in a turning point when the focus shifted from suppression to reconciliation. If you remember the 1985 Rajiv Longowal Accord, and that marked the political recognition that lasting peace could not have been enforced by militarization of the place. It has to be negotiated. There were setbacks to this accord, I fully agree with that, but then it laid the foundation of dialogue-based resolution. So while we are counting the dead and the injured in Delhi blast, the new thing is that the capital of India is shaken. The trust in the security policy is shaken now. It is just a couple of months ago that India was running Operation Sindoor to fight the terrorists across the borders. Now we have them in the heart of the country. Therefore, we have to do things differently. current policy is not helping, and a rethink of the national security policy is required. Until then, like the decades together, whether it is Jammu, Kashmir, Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Bangalore, Maharashtra, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, on the borders of India, people will continue to die, Indians would continue to die, innocent lives will continue to be lost. New thinking is required. How India, being a soft target or a state which reconciles politically and integrates all those who have lost the path of peace, that has to come out. The lessons need to be learnt now. With those thoughts and prayers for those who are injured and have lost lives, I leave you until next week. Stay safe, stay informed, and dutifully ask questions. Bye for now.
Dublin South FM. You wouldn't buy a car without knowing its history. So why would you buy a story without knowing who's telling it? Come here and I tell you. It's not always easy to verify what you see, read, or hear. But now there's help. Visit www.bemediasmart.ie. Stop, think, check. Be Media Smart. Brought to you by Media Literacy Ireland, supported by RTE. 93.9 Dublin South FM.
Indeed, welcome back to the program. This is 93.9 Dublin South FM. Your local broadcaster, SIRAJ Zaidi, is here until 4 o'clock. And I hope you shall give me enough company until I finish my program today. Because today's program is brooding over many issues on a broad basis. Every time these type of attacks, these senseless, merciless attacks happen, we draw, some sort of a conclusion where the fingers should be pointed and where we can actually find the solution for this particular problem. And as quite appropriately Sharad has said, that dissatisfaction with the current government is the reason mistrust and the way the operation of post Pulwama and post Pahalgam happened, when people are angry, people are not satisfied the fact that no perpetrator, those that committed crime in a broad daylight were being caught. So, I mean, this is a failure of the government, Home Minister, Prime Minister, all of these guys, and conveniently he is in Bhutan. He's not there. He should have left Bhutan and would have come immediately to Delhi to come to the. If it would have been in Europe, he would have been resigned long time ago. But then again, if you keep pointing out an old enemy and trying to actually develop some sort of a clever ploy with the neighboring Afghanistan, inviting them for discussions about that, this is all interlinked together. This is a chain reaction of all those kind of things. And who knows who did that, because the people who did that and chosen as a people perpetrator, although the fingers are being pointed on pediatrician, a doctor who's the RDX has been found and as a suicide bomber and all that. But that's all very well. But the point is, where is the peace initiative? If peace initiative with the neighboring country, you remember the years ago when the Congress government was in power, when the coalition of the government was in power, nothing of that sort happened. Have you ever thought about it? Why? Why? Because since the BJP came into power, these things are happening on a regular basis, and particularly when the election happens. This is another funny equation. So, I mean, your mind boggles and your mind tend to wonder that what is going on behind the scene. Behind the scene is that you found the culprit called Pakistan and point your finger there and immediately take action against them and tit for tat, and then a tittle-tat will happen, and then the whole affair comes down, people get up, pick up the dust and move on. Now, how about those who lost their innocent life? Only the poor people, only the public actually suffer. You can call it Operation Sari, Operation Sindoor, Operation this and Operation that. What that operation is doing, not bringing a perpetrator to a justice. Yes, if we would have seen the culprit of Pahalgam has been brought to justice and would have found the 5 people who entered into Pahalgam and shot on a point blank basis the tourists who were tourism, enjoying the tourism there, then we would have accepted that yes, you have done some work. But no, you have not done at all any work whatsoever about previous, and as another incident happened, and then points the fingers straight away to the neighbor Pakistan. Why Pakistan as a state is interested in blasting bombs in Delhi? Why? They don't want to do that. They have their own problem. They have a small economy. They have their own unemployment problem, this problem, that problem. This particular thing is just ridiculous that you have actually pointing the fingers where you terrorist or the people who are dissatisfied from your own government locally in India are right in the midst of you. If that is the case, that is the case, then you should be more careful and more fearful for the future attacks, because that's what these people are going to do. They're going to take revenge from you for doing this kind of nonsense. Now, the other point, which, as I said, Sharad has point very well, is that towards the peace. Peace, if you take any positive steps, like playing cricket, like we used to have all those sort of trade is another big thing. Both countries are, and of course Bangladesh as well. All 3 countries, out of 3 countries, India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, is the Bangladesh who have progressed leaps and bounds in economy, and they're doing so well in terms of development. So Pakistan has got its own problem, but don't actually create an atmosphere of war. Talk about peace, and sacrificing your own is another international policy of some other third party, third country, vis-a-vis, I don't want to name the countries, but that's their policy. First, you kill your own people, and that is the pattern. Kill your own people, set the agenda, take the sympathy of the world, and go out and create a bigger all-out action. Now, that is a called reverse psychology action. So if that is happening, some intelligence people are doing and playing the game, sitting far away from these actions, but they're planning, hiring, cajoling, like 9/11 in fact. And 9/11 happened. Who were the 9/11 perpetrators? If they were Saudis, so-called, how can you just discovered a passport in a rubble of Twin Tower? Now that is just, beggars belief that you could do something like that. Yes, it is proven now, Fahrenheit 9/11, that it was orchestrated, it was well planned, it was carefully planned in order to go out all-out war in Afghanistan and Iraq as a revenge. So this is something you must understand. This point, that this point is very, very well played, and it is again I emphasize policy of another third country, not India, not Pakistan, but someone else. Guess who? Anyway, I'm not going to go talk about any more. I'm going to talk about something after the song, because the song has to be played, and because it's the time I'll be talking about what's going on in the film world, and indeed the latest pictures, what's happening, releasing the films and things like that. But this is a song about a particular actor who is not doing well, who's fairly poorly, and just released from the hospital, and he's an iconic He-Man of the film industry. So sit back, relax, and enjoy his heyday song.
आज मौसम घटा डर रही है, काली काली घटा डर रही है, ठंडी आहें हवा भर रही है, सबको क्या क्या गुमा हो रहे हैं, हर कली हम पे शक कर रही है, फूलों का दिल भी कुछ बदगुमान है। ऐ मेरे यार ऐ हुस्न वाले, ऐ मेरे यार ऐ हुस्न वाले, दिल किया मैंने तेरे हवाले, तेरी मर्जी पे अब बात ठहरी, जीने दे चाहे तू मार डाल,
जी मेरे भाइयों, हो गई प्यार की हर तमन्ना जवां. This is something very interesting that I'm talking about today, about that actor called He-Man, Dharmendra ji. Dharmendra is, since God knows how many years, since a generation has grown up. He is now turning 90. And we all grew up watching him before me, my generation. And particularly, he's considered to be the evergreen superhero, superstar, whatever you call it. Even Mr. Bachchan called him with respect. There's a difference between age difference between him and Mr. Bachchan of 8-9 years, and he's 84 and he's 89. It's a 5-year difference, in fact. And they were all together in film Sholay. I will play sometime Sholay's song as well, but today I will stick to, yes, he's been taken to the Beach Candy Hospital in Mumbai, which is notoriously famous hospital where all the film stars end up, and particularly they sometimes die in the Beach Candy Hospital. Peaceful death and all that. Well, I mean, what do you expect? He had a great innings, 89, but these days now people expect to live forever, 100, 90, whatever, and be active. But Dharmendra ji, Dharmendra Sahab, whatever you call it, Dharmendra, everybody knows him by the name of Dharmendra. He's a Punjab guy from Punjab, came very early in the industry and wanted to become the film star. So he told his mother, and his mother was not very happy that how can you go, you're not educated, you're not trained, nothing. How can you end up in a film industry like that? And he was obviously motivated by watching films of Dilip Kumar, Guru Dutt, all of those legends of the, of the 30s and 40s and 50s. And that's what brought him to Mumbai. And Mumbai, and he became the real hero because he was good looking, he was Punjabi, he was handsome, and he, heartthrob for a lot of people. Even Jaya Bachchan, the wife of Amitabh Bachchan, has actually had a crush on him. So many women have crush on him, but he had a crush on none other than the dream girl, Hema Malini. And despite the fact that he was married and he had 2 boys, Sanjay, not Sanjay, the 2 Deol, Sunny Deol and Bobby Deol from this previous first wife, he pursued his love affair, and he's been known as Shair, the poet, Urdu Shairi, and he persuaded himself to get closer to Hema Malini. Now, Hema Malini, being a South Indian actress and a Bharatanatyam, accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer, was actually reluctant in the beginning, that he was, of course, married and had 2 boys and everything. But then he ended up marrying her. And do you know how he married? Because she was a staunch South Indian Hindu and he was Punjabi Jat. So he said, look, the way it can, and in Hindus, I think, unless you are divorced, you cannot remarry. So they married as a Muslim, nikah. They did nikah as a Muslim marriage conducted by some Maulvis, and that's how they become. And he had 2 children, 2 daughters from Hema Malini, Isha Deol and Ahana Deol. I met all 3 of them, Hema ji, not Dharmendra ji, but Hema ji, Ahana and Isha Deol in Oslo, in Norway, a good few years ago when they came to perform a classical dance performance on the stage. So these people, he's a true artist in his hearts and hearts, and continued to work so hard right up to last year, where he has the film called, Karan Johar directed that film, Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, in which he was on wheelchair and he was, an old man and everything. But he had a love story going between him and Shabana Azmi. So Dharmendra is something that he's coming to towards the end of his life, I would say. I hope not, because I hope he can survive and he can live even 100 years. But he'll be turning 90 very soon, and hopefully he can cross over this crisis, or what I call it, in his life, and he would become again healthy and I mean, he has a good quality life throughout his life, and now he lives on the farm. His sons bought him a farm, or he himself bought him a farm, and he lives a very, very, very comfortable life there. Eats fresh fruits, fresh food, fresh homemade yogurt and chicken and all those sort of things that you can imagine a quality lifestyle would have. He would have all of that. And that is what Dharmendra is all about. And his sons are doing extremely well. Daughters are not doing extremely well, I must say that. But 𝐬𝐤𝐺 is doing very well. Hema Malini is also a member of parliament. But he is himself is a wonderful, wonderful individual, loving individual, respected by the lot of people and all that. But he's as I said, he's one of those evergreen actor that you would not expect to basically to disappear. But then again, humans are not infallible. Humans are infallible is not a right word. In fact, infallibility is a different thing. But humans are not. The life of human being is very short, which is a 90 plus 80, 70. And I also would have a sad story, sad news to share, that a member of my film festival, a young man called Anup Gupta, who was a member of the film festival, volunteers, Anupam Gupta, who was a member of the film festival. He joined us. And I just heard today from another volunteers and a colleague of the film festival that he passed away. A young man in his 40s, probably late 30s, early 40s. He went to India recently and then he passed away. So what is happening in our lives, who knows that who's still around us today will not be around tomorrow. Anyway, I'll take another track from Dharmendra Sahab and sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful old track of Dharmendra. So this is, and as I said, he has done an amazing amount of films in his lifetime. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this particular track.
मेरा दिल मचल गया तो मेरा क्या कसूर है खुली लटों की छाँव में खिला खिला ये रूप है खुली लटों की छाँव में खिला खिला ये रूप है घटा से जैसे छन रही सुबह सुबह की धूप है जिधर नजर मुड़ी जिधर नजर मुड़ी जिधर नजर मुड़ी उधर सुरूर ही सुरूर है मेरा दिल मचल गया तो मेरा क्या कसूर है आपके हसीन रुख पे आज नया नूर है मेरा दिल मचल गया तो मेरा क्या कसूर है झुकी झुकी निगाह में भी है बला की शोखियाँ झुकी झुकी निगाह में भी है बला की शोखियाँ दबी दबी हंसी में भी तड़प रही हैं बिजलियाँ शबाब आपका शबाब आपका शबाब आपका नशे में खुद ही चूर चूर है। मेरा दिल मचल गया तो मेरा क्या कसूर है। आपकी निगाह ने कहा तो कुछ जरूर है। मेरा दिल मचल गया तो मेरा क्या कसूर है।
This is Dharmendra at his best in an old film, and particularly today I will be playing quite a few songs of Dharmendra ji, and wonderful songs. He was a comedian, he was a serious actor, he was a he-man, an action hero, and all of that made him a superstar. So this is what it is that Dharmendra, and in recent time, just few hours ago, I think the statement has been issued by the family people that officially he has been released from has been discharged from the Breach Candy Hospital, and he is back in the home. So home atmosphere makes it longevity of a life better than the hospital. I hate hospitals environment because it's full of this kind of, they'll strap you in literally in tubes and all that, and then you lie down on bed and you eat on time and you sleep on time. Sometimes you don't sleep on time at all, and the nurses will come and to keep giving you the X, Y, and Z kind of rubbish tablets and all that. That is awful for anybody, and particularly an old man like him, who is all his life lived a very good, a wonderful life by enjoying himself in front of camera and doing a wonderful act of entertainment, and entertained us and left a lot of the good memories with us. But again, as I said, nobody is going to live forever. And here's another song. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
क्या जलवा क्या नजारा मेरी आंखों ने देखा, अल्लाह अल्लाह। क्या जलवा क्या नजारा मेरी आंखों ने देखा, अल्लाह अल्लाह। उनकी नजर का झुकना, झुक के उठना, उठ के फिर झुक जाना, अल्लाह अल्लाह। क्या जलवा क्या नजारा मेरी आंखों ने देखा, अल्लाह अल्लाह। उनकी नजर का झुकना, झुक के उठना, उठ के फिर झुक जाना, अल्लाह अल्लाह। तड़प रही है दरिया में मत नहाओ, मौजें तड़प रही है दरिया में मत नहाओ। पानी में ओ हसीना तुम आग मत लगाओ। शोला बदन से लपका हो लपका, शोला बदन से लपका, तौबा तौबा उठने लगा धुआं सा, अल्लाह अल्लाह। क्या जलवा क्या नजारा मेरी आंखों ने देखा, अल्लाह अल्लाह। उनकी नजर का झुकना, झुक के उठना, उठ के फिर झुक जाना, अल्लाह अल्लाह। के चेहरा छुपा लिया है, हाथों को यूं उठा के चेहरा छुपा लिया है, बालों को यूं गिरा के पर्दा बना लिया है। मुश्किल है फिर भी चुपना, हो चुपना मुश्किल है फिर भी चुपना, चुप कर चलना, चलते चलते रुकना। अल्लाह अल्लाह क्या जलवा क्या नजारा मेरी आंखों ने देखा, अल्लाह अल्लाह होए होए उनकी नजर का झुकना, झुक के उठना, उठ के फिर झुक जाना। अल्लाह अल्लाह
So many songs like that, which is actually sung by Muhammad Rafi himself, and Muhammad Rafi's voice were being actually on Dharmendra for many, many years before 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 came along, and Kishore Kumar's voice was also being is being used on Mr. Dharmendra. Now, talking about Dharmendra in terms of an individual, as I said, he's a simple, good-hearted, hard-hearted man, hard-working man, and he's worked many, many, many years, as I said, 60 odd years at this stage, in fact, 70 years, in fact. He was very young when he came into the industry. So all of that makes him a fantastic actor, a superstar, a Bollywood name, Dharmendra, and that culminated him to do films like, iconic films like Dharamveer, like Sholay, like, many, many, many films that he performed a brilliant acting in that. But of course, his companions and his co-stars range from Meena Kumari to all the way up to Zeenat Aman. Hema Malini was, as I said, was the biggest co-star with Dharmendra Hema Malini in many films, and 70s films, 60s films, 80s, 90s, noughties. All of them have made him a super, super mega star. So he's not well, that's all I can say. But he's still alive, and he's still, kicking in his home surroundings, and particularly probably in his farm or whatever the family have decided to take him. And so Dharmendra ji, wish you all the best, and wish you all the happiness and health and well-being, and hopefully you will recover from your health, and you will be again enjoying the life of work, and hopefully you might do a film. You never know. But Sunny Deol and Bobby Deol must be very stressful these days. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy this particular track.
चांद सूरज न छूट जाए कहीं, दिल ने दिल से न जाने क्या कहा, तेरे नैन मेरे नैन देखते रहे, ओ तेरे नैन मेरे नैन देखते रहे। किन बहारों ने दुल्हन बनाया तुझे, और किरणों का जेवर पहनाया तुझे, सारे कलियों ने मिलकर सजाया तुझे, प्यार से हमने झूला झुलाया तुझे। आया मौसम जवां प्यार का, तेरे नैन मेरे नैन देखते रहे, ओ तेरे नैन मेरे नैन देखते रहे।
तेरे जलवों से रोशन नजारे रहे इन नजारों में तेरे इशारे रहे
नीले अंबर पे जब तक सितारे रहे तुम हमारे रहो हम तुम्हारे रहे
तेरा रखवाला दिल है मेरा तेरे नैन मेरे नैन देखते रहे
दिल ने दिल से कुछ कहा मेरे नैन तेरे नैन देखते रहे. Many, as I said, beautiful songs that he has actually. And Rekha, of course. Hey, Rekha and Dharmendra have a very, very, very strong pair, and they perform so well. So the next song I'm going to play this, with Rekha ji and Dharmendra. But before that, it's nearly time up, and I really like to tell you that last week I was talking to you about podcast versus broadcast and this new trend, technology-driven trend called podcast, when everybody is actually putting up their podcast here, there and everywhere, putting the reels and all that. But that's not a match for broadcast. Broadcast is a reliable entertainment, news, and something that is still, the broadcast shows are very, very popular. Yes, we may take help and advantage of the platforms like YouTube, like all that, in order to upload our program, which I do. And so therefore, Apna Radio can be watched. Previous episodes, latest episodes, and all that can be watched now on YouTube if you just typed nearly 30 episodes, 28 to 90, 20, 30, maybe 50. I don't know the exact number. But many episodes are all there. And all you have to do is just log on to it. And on your phone, just type Apna Radio Dublin. And you'll see me there. You'll hear me there. And you can pick and choose any radio show you like. And so thank you once again, Sharad, for a beautiful contribution. And hopefully next week we will be continuing our program to certain more. Yes, the sad news of passing of Satish Shah. That's what I did mention, or I can't remember whether I mentioned or not. Sulakshana Pandit is another wonderful lady who married to. Sulakshana Pandit was married to, I think, with Mithun Chakrabarti at one stage, and then they separated or whatever happened to them. That she no longer around. Sulakshana Pandit passed away. Few people. Asrani passed away. Sulakshana, and all that. Satish Shah passed away, and the year has been very heavy on a lot of people, and therefore now the touch and go stage of Mr. Dharmendra. But we wish him all the best and a long and happy life, so we can enjoy and entertain his songs and his wonderful films. So bye for now. I'll be back same time, same place next week. Hopefully you'll tune me in. And this is Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM. Don't worry if you don't catch me tomorrow. What I'm talking about. Like if you didn't get today the show that I'm broadcasting, I will upload it on YouTube, and you'll be able to listen and enjoy the show. Bye for now.
जान तमन्ना जान ले